there is a sacred voice within you, one that has been whispering to you all along. It is the voice of divine wisdom, the guidance that has never left you, the presence that speaks not in noise but in stillness. Yet, in the rush of life, in the distractions of the world, you may have forgotten to listen. You may have sought answers outside yourself, waiting for a sign, a message, a confirmation that you are not alone. But what if the answer has been within you all along? What if, for 3 days, you silenced the world and spoke only to yourself? Talking to yourself for 3 days is not an empty practice. It is a return to the divine connection that has always existed within you. It is an invitation to align your thoughts, your words, and your spirit with the higher truth that is guiding your life. In these 3 days, you are not just speaking, you are awakening. You are not just reflecting, you are receiving. Every word you speak to yourself carries power. Will you speak words of faith or words of fear? Will you declare strength or surrender to doubt? Will you remind yourself of the presence of the divine within you, or will you allow the noise of the world to drown it out? For 3 days, talk to yourself as if you are speaking to the divine, because in truth you are. Let your words be filled with faith, with power, with love. Remind yourself that you are not abandoned, not lost, not forgotten. You are heard, seen, and deeply guided. In these 3 days, something will shift. Clarity will rise, strength will awaken. The presence you have been searching for will reveal itself. Not outside of you, but within. The voice of the divine is not distant. It is within your own soul, waiting for you to listen. 1. You are never alone. The divine is within you. There is a presence within you that has never left your side. No matter how distant you may feel, no matter how lost you believe yourself to be, you are never truly alone. The divine is not something far away, not something that exists in the unreachable heavens or in places beyond your grasp. The divine is within you, closer than your own breath, beating within your heart, guiding your steps even when you do not see the path ahead. For 3 days, as you talk to yourself, remind yourself of this unshakable truth. You have never been abandoned, even in the silence, even in the moments when you felt forgotten, even in the times when prayers seemed to go unanswered. There was always something greater at work. Sometimes we mistake silence for absence, but in reality, the divine speaks in ways we do not always recognize. The quiet moments, the deep intuition, the sudden peace in the midst of chaos. These are signs that you have never been left alone. If you have ever felt like no one understands you, like no one hears your struggles, like no one truly sees what you are going through, know that there is one who does. The divine presence within you understands your pain, your questions, your doubts, and your fears. But even more than that, it knows your strength, your purpose, and your potential. When you talk to yourself for these 3 days, do not speak as if you are alone in the darkness. Speak as if you are having a conversation with the most powerful, loving force in the universe. Because you are. When you wake up in the morning, remind yourself, I am not alone. When challenges arise, whisper, I am guided. When fear tries to creep in, declare, I am protected. These words are not just affirmations, they are the truth. The divine presence is with you in every step, in every breath, in every heartbeat. The more you acknowledge this, the more you will feel it. There have been times in your life when you thought you would not make it, times when the weight of life felt unbearable, but you are here. You have endured. You have overcome. That alone is proof that you have never been walking this path alone. Someone something greater has been carrying you, strengthening you, holding you up when you felt like falling. Think of all the times you thought you had no way out, yet somehow a way was made. That was not coincidence. That was divine guidance. Talking to yourself for 3 days is not just about speaking, it is about listening. It is about hearing the gentle, powerful voice inside of you that has been trying to remind you of who you are. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are not lost. You are divinely guided, deeply loved, and eternally connected to something greater than yourself. The world may try to convince you that you are alone, that you must fight your battles alone, that no one truly cares, but that is an illusion. The truth is that you are surrounded by a love so deep, so powerful, that nothing can separate you from it. For 3 days, allow this truth to sink into your soul. Speak to yourself with the awareness that you are never speaking to an empty room. Speak with the knowledge that every word you say is heard by a presence that loves you unconditionally. Speak with faith, with confidence, with certainty that you are being guided, even when you cannot see the way forward. When doubt whispers that you are on your own, answer it with truth. Say, I am never alone, because the divine is within me. When fear tries to shake you, stand firm and declare, I am protected, I am guided, I am loved. When you feel uncertain, when the path ahead seems unclear, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and remind yourself, the divine is with me, and I am exactly where I need to be. The more you speak this truth, the more it will become real to you. The divine is not just with you in moments of prayer or meditation, it is with you always. In every decision, in every challenge, in every joy and every sorrow, you are never walking alone. These 3 days of speaking to yourself are an opportunity to reconnect, to remind yourself of what has always been true. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are held in divine love, and nothing can change that. Let this truth settle in your heart. Walk with confidence, knowing that you are supported by something greater than you can see. Speak to yourself as if you are speaking to the divine, because in truth, you are. Let every word be filled with faith, with love, with power. For 3 days, remind yourself again and again, I am never alone, for the divine is within me. Your words shape your reality. Speak life into yourself. The words you speak to yourself are more powerful than you realize. They shape your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately your reality. Every sentence you say, whether in silence or aloud, creates an energy that influences your mind, your spirit, and the world around you. The divine has given you the ability to create, not just through actions, but through the very words you speak. That is why, for 3 days, you must be intentional about what you say to yourself. Do you speak words of faith, or do you allow fear to dictate your language? Do you declare strength, or do you let doubt write your story? Many people unknowingly trap themselves in cycles of negativity because they speak words that weaken their spirit. They say things like, I am not good enough, I will never succeed, I am always struggling, and then wonder why their life reflects these very statements. Words are seeds. What you plant in your mind will grow. If you plant words of doubt, you will harvest insecurity. If you plant words of fear, you will live in hesitation. But if you plant words of power, of faith, of confidence, you will walk in strength and victory. For 3 days, be conscious of every word that leaves your mouth and every thought that passes through your mind. When you wake up, do not say, I am tired, or I do not feel like facing this day. Instead, declare, I am strong, I am renewed, I am guided. When challenges arise, do not say, I will never get through this. Instead say, I am resilient, I will overcome. The divine is making a way for me. The universe responds to the energy of your words. Every time you declare something, you align yourself with the reality of that statement. This is why you must be careful with what you allow yourself to say. Do not curse your own path by speaking failure before you have even begun. Do not sabotage your own blessings by speaking defeat over yourself. Instead, align your words with the divine plan that is already unfolding for you. You may have spent years talking to yourself with negativity, doubt, or fear, but now, for these 3 days, you have an opportunity to shift everything. When you look in the mirror, do not criticize yourself. Speak life into your reflection. Say, I am worthy, I am loved, I am on the right path. When you feel fear creeping in, counter it with truth. I am protected, I am guided, I trust the process. The divine did not place you on this path to leave you weak or afraid. You have power, and that power is in your words. The great shift in your life begins not when your circumstances change, but when your words change. You must speak your future into existence before it arrives. Declare victory while you are still in the battle. Declare healing even before you see it manifest. Declare peace even when the storm is still raging. What you speak today becomes the reality you step into tomorrow. If you have been speaking words of doubt for years, do not be discouraged. You can start anew. Every moment is a fresh chance to change your inner dialogue. For 3 days, make a conscious effort to speak nothing but truth, power, and faith. Speak as if every word you say is planting a future you want to live in, because it is. You are shaping your destiny with the words you choose. Talking to yourself is not just about reflection, it is about transformation. The more you speak life, the more you will feel it, believe it, and embody it. The divine is always moving through your words, waiting for you to align with its power. When you declare that you are strong, you are not just saying words. You are activating the strength that has always been within you. For 3 days, make a sacred commitment to yourself. No negative words, no doubt-filled declarations, no self-defeating speech. Instead, speak as if you are already walking in divine favor, because you are. Let your words reflect your highest self. Let your speech align with the limitless possibilities that the divine has placed before you. The more you do this, the more you will see your reality shift. Stand firm in this truth. You are creating your world with your words. Speak with purpose. Speak with faith. Speak life into yourself. And watch as the world around you begins to reflect the power you have always carried within. 3. Silence the noise and listen to your inner voice. In a world filled with distractions, constant noise, and endless opinions, it can be difficult to hear the most important voice of all. The voice within you. The divine presence speaks, not in chaos, not in the loudness of the world, but in the stillness of your soul. But how often do you take the time to listen? How often do you silence everything else to hear the wisdom that is already inside you? For 3 days, you are not just talking to yourself, you are learning to listen. You are quieting the external world so that you can finally hear what has been waiting for you all along. Every day we are bombarded by outside voices, opinions of others, social media, news, worries, and fears. These voices can drown out our inner truth, making us doubt ourselves, making us question our worth, making us feel lost. But the moment you step away from the noise, the moment you allow yourself to sit in silence, you will realize something profound. You already know the answers you have been seeking. The divine is not outside of you. It is within you, and it speaks through your intuition, through your feelings, through the quiet moments where clarity suddenly arrives. For 3 days, step away from the distractions. Turn off the unnecessary noise. Reduce the time spent absorbing the opinions of others and instead create space to hear yourself. Take a walk in nature. Sit in a quiet room. Close your eyes and just breathe. When your mind tries to rush to the worries of the day, gently bring it back to the present moment. Ask yourself, what is the divine trying to tell me? And then listen, not with impatience, not with doubt, but with an open heart. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is full of answers. In the stillness, you will begin to recognize the voice of truth, the voice of wisdom, the voice that has been trying to reach you all along. When you hear a thought that brings you peace, that strengthens your spirit, that reminds you of your purpose, that is the voice of the divine within you. When you hear thoughts filled with fear, confusion, or doubt, those are the voices of the outside world that you must learn to ignore. The more you listen to the right voice, the more clarity you will have. People often search for guidance outside themselves, looking for signs, waiting for someone else to tell them what to do. But the truth is, the greatest guidance is already within you. The divine has placed wisdom inside your soul, and when you take the time to listen, you will find the direction you need. You do not need to ask the world for permission to follow your path. You do not need to wait for external validation. You already have everything you need inside of you. The only question is, are you willing to listen? For 3 days, practice deep listening. When you ask yourself a question, do not immediately seek the answer elsewhere. Sit with it. Let it settle. Pay attention to the feelings that arise. The divine often speaks through the things that bring you peace, through the moments where you feel alignment, through the thoughts that uplift your spirit rather than burden it. Trust these moments. Trust the voice that encourages you, strengthens you, and reminds you of who you truly are. As you silence the noise, you will also begin to recognize the negative voices that have been influencing you for too long. The voice that tells you that you are not enough. The voice that fills you with fear. The voice that makes you doubt your own worth. These voices do not belong to you. They are echoes of the outside world, voices you have absorbed over time, but they do not define you. When you hear them, do not accept them as truth. Instead, replace them with words of faith, with words of power, with words that reflect the divine strength within you. You are not meant to live in confusion. You are not meant to walk through life unsure, lost, or disconnected. You have been given an inner compass, a voice that will always guide you back to your path. But you must choose to listen. You must be willing to step away from the distractions, to trust yourself, to believe that the divine is speaking to you in ways that go beyond words. For 3 days, make a commitment to listen. Sit in silence even when it feels uncomfortable. Resist the urge to fill every moment with external noise. When you ask yourself a question, trust that the answer will come, not through force, but through patience. When you feel a deep sense of knowing, follow it. When you feel peace about a decision, trust it. The divine will always guide you, but only if you are willing to hear. As you go through this journey, remind yourself, I am divinely guided. The answers I seek are already within me. I choose to listen. The more you repeat this, the more you will feel the truth of it. You are not lost. You are not alone. You are being guided every step of the way. You just need to listen. 4. Face your fears and replace them with faith. Fear is one of the greatest barriers between you and your divine potential. It is the voice that tells you to stay small, to doubt yourself, to hesitate when you should move forward. Fear is not just an emotion, It is a force that tries to keep you away from the path meant for you. But here is the truth. Fear only has power when you listen to it. The moment you choose to confront it, to step into it with faith, it begins to lose its hold over you. For 3 days, as you talk to yourself, you must also talk to your fears. Acknowledge them, but do not submit to them. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? And then listen. Is it fear of failure? Fear of rejection? Fear of the unknown? Whatever it is, bring it into the light. Do not let it hide in the shadows of your mind. When you face it, you take away its power. Many people believe that fear is a sign that they should stop, that they are on the wrong path. But in truth, fear often appears when you are closest to a breakthrough. It rises when you are about to step into something greater. Fear is not an obstacle, it is a test. Will you listen to it, or will you rise above it? Will you allow it to hold you back, or will you replace it with faith? Faith is the antidote to fear. It does not mean the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward anyway. Faith says, I do not see the whole path, but I trust that the divine is guiding me. Faith says, even if I do not feel strong, I know that strength is within me. Faith says, I may not have all the answers, but I am not alone. I am being led. For 3 days, shift your inner conversation from fear to faith. When fear tells you that you will fail, answer with, I am capable and I will succeed. When doubt whispers that you are not enough, respond with, I am worthy and I am divinely guided. When worry tries to control your thoughts, declare, I release this fear and trust that everything is working for my highest good. Fear thrives in uncertainty, but faith thrives in trust. The more you trust the divine, the less fear will control you. You do not need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You do not need to have everything figured out to move forward. Life is not meant to be lived in hesitation. It is meant to be embraced with courage. One of the greatest fears people hold is the fear of being alone. But you are never alone. The divine is always with you, walking beside you, guiding your every step. Even when you cannot see it, even when you do not feel it, divine presence surrounds you. Your fears may try to convince you that you are walking this journey by yourself, but that is a lie. You are supported in ways beyond your understanding. For 3 days, challenge yourself to break free from fear's grip. Take one step towards something that scares you. Speak words of faith over yourself. Every time a fearful thought arises, replace it with one of strength. This is how you reclaim your power. This is how you move forward into the life that is waiting for you. You have spent enough time letting fear dictate your choices. Now is the time to choose differently, to choose faith, to choose trust, to choose the divine path that has always been meant for you. You are not here to live in fear. You are here to rise above it. Let these 3 days be the beginning of that transformation. 5. Align your thoughts with divine truth. Your thoughts are the foundation of your reality. Every action, every decision, and every belief begins in the mind. If your thoughts are filled with doubt, fear, and negativity, your life will reflect that. But if your thoughts are aligned with faith, strength, and divine truth, then nothing can stand in your way. The divine has given you the power to shape your reality, but it starts with what you allow yourself to think. For 3 days, as you talk to yourself, be mindful of your thoughts. Every time a negative or limiting belief enters your mind, pause and ask yourself, is this the truth, or is this just a habit? Many of the thoughts that hold you back are not based on reality. They are patterns you have picked up from the world around you. Maybe someone once told you that you were not good enough, and you believed it. Maybe past experiences made you feel unworthy, and you accepted it as truth. But none of that defines you. You are more than your past, more than your fears, more than any limitation the world has placed on you. Divine truth says that you are strong, that you are capable, that you are here for a reason. Anything that tells you otherwise is not truth. It is a distraction. You must train your mind to reject anything that does not align with your highest self. When your thoughts tell you that you are not good enough, remind yourself, I am divinely created and I am worthy. When your mind tries to convince you that you will fail, say, I am guided and I am capable of overcoming anything. This is not just positive thinking. It is aligning yourself with the truth of who you are. The mind is powerful, but it must be trained. Just as a garden must be tended, your thoughts must be cultivated with care. You would not allow weeds to take over a beautiful garden, so why allow negative thoughts to take over your mind? For these 3 days, be intentional about what you allow to grow. Speak words of truth, meditate on strength, and remind yourself constantly that you are walking in divine alignment. You may have spent years believing in limitations, but change can begin in an instant. The moment you decide to shift your thoughts, you change the direction of your life. The divine is not far from you. It is within you, guiding you, speaking to you through your inner voice. But you must be willing to listen, to trust, and to let go of any thought that does not serve your highest good. For 3 days, challenge yourself to think differently. Every morning, declare that you are walking in divine favor. Every night, reflect on the truth that you are growing, evolving, and becoming stronger with each passing moment. Train your mind to expect good things, to see opportunities instead of obstacles, to trust that everything is working in your favor. The more you align your thoughts with divine truth, the more you will see your life shift in ways you never imagined. You are not powerless. You are not lost. You are exactly where you are meant to be, and the divine is leading you every step of the way. Align your thoughts with this truth, and nothing will be impossible for you. 6. Embrace the power of self-reflection and renewal. For 3 days, you are engaging in one of the most profound spiritual practices, self-reflection. You are not simply talking to yourself. You are awakening a deeper understanding of your soul. You are peeling away the layers of doubt, fear, and uncertainty that have built up over time. You are stepping beyond the noise of the world and into a space where the divine can speak to you, within you. This is not just a simple exercise, it is a sacred act of renewal, a spiritual transformation that has the power to shift the direction of your life. Self-reflection is a doorway to clarity. It allows you to see yourself, not as the world has labeled you, not as your past mistakes have defined you, but as you truly are, a soul created with divine intention. Many people go through life without ever pausing to ask themselves, who am I really? They get caught up in the expectations of others, the burdens of daily life, and the distractions of the external world. But when you take time to step back, to turn inward, and to truly examine your heart, you begin to uncover a deeper truth about yourself. You begin to remember your purpose, your strength, and the divine power that has always been within you. For 3 days, challenge yourself to go deeper than surface-level thinking. Ask yourself, what have I been avoiding? There may be emotions, fears, or unresolved thoughts that you have been pushing aside. But avoidance does not bring healing. Facing the truth does. When you take time to reflect, you give yourself permission to process, to heal, and to grow. The divine does not ask you to be perfect. It asks you to be open, to be willing to allow yourself to evolve. Growth begins when you are honest with yourself. Use these 3 days to examine your beliefs. What thoughts have you accepted as truth that may not actually be true? Have you told yourself that you are not worthy, that you are not strong enough, that you are not capable? Where did those beliefs come from? Were they placed on you by society, by past experiences, by the words of others? If so, it is time to let them go. They do not belong to you. The divine truth is that you are enough, you are capable, and you are here for a reason. Anything that tells you otherwise is not truth. It is an illusion meant to keep you small. Self-reflection is not about judgment. It is not about criticizing yourself or dwelling on past mistakes. It is about learning, understanding, and choosing a new path forward. The divine does not see you through the lens of your past. It sees you through the potential of your future. It sees the strength, the wisdom, and the light within you. And now, you must learn to see yourself the same way. For 3 days, take time to quiet your mind and listen. When you silence the external world, you will begin to hear the voice of wisdom within you. You will start to notice the subtle guidance that has always been there. Pay attention to the feelings, the insights, the moments of clarity that arise when you give yourself space to reflect. Trust that these are not random thoughts. They are messages from the divine, leading you toward a greater understanding of yourself and your path. Let this time be one of renewal. Release the weight of the past. Forgive yourself for anything you have been holding on to. Let go of the need for perfection. The divine is not asking you to have everything figured out. It is simply asking you to be open, to trust, to take one step at a time. Each moment of reflection brings you closer to alignment, closer to clarity, closer to the life you were always meant to live. Speak words of renewal over yourself. Declare that you are stepping into a new chapter, one filled with purpose and strength. Affirm that you are growing, evolving, and walking in divine alignment. Trust that the path ahead is unfolding exactly as it should. You do not need all the answers right now. You only need the courage to keep moving forward, one moment at a time. For 3 days, talk to yourself with love, with kindness, with faith. Remind yourself that every breath is an opportunity to begin again. You are not the same person you were yesterday, and tomorrow you will be even stronger. Self-reflection is not just about understanding where you have been, it is about realizing where you are going. And where you are going is towards something greater, something higher, something deeply aligned with the divine purpose within you. Let these 3 days be the beginning of a transformation. Let them be a time of healing, of renewal, of rediscovery. And when the 3 days are over, do not stop. Carry this awareness with you. Continue to speak words of truth, to silence the doubts, to trust in the path that is unfolding before you. The divine is guiding you. You are not alone. You are walking in alignment, and your greatest days are ahead of you. Conclusion. Your journey to divine connection and inner transformation. These 3 days of speaking to yourself were never just about words. They were about transformation, alignment, and awakening. You were not merely engaging in self-talk. You were breaking free from limitations, facing your fears, shifting your thoughts, and embracing the divine power within you. Every word you spoke to yourself was a seed planted, a step taken toward a deeper understanding of who you truly are. You have spent this time learning to listen, not just to the voice of the world, not just to the voice of fear, but to the voice of the divine within you. That voice has always been there, waiting for you to become still enough to hear it, waiting for you to trust in its guidance. You have begun to see that you are not lost, you are not forgotten, and you are never alone. The divine has been with you all along, guiding you, strengthening you, and leading you toward the life you were always meant to live. Every time you chose faith over fear, you rewrote the story you tell yourself. Every time you rejected doubt and embraced trust, you took a step closer to divine alignment. Every time you silenced negative thoughts and replaced them with truth, you reclaimed your power. You were never weak. You simply needed to remember the strength that has always been inside of you. This journey has shown you that transformation does not happen in a single moment, but through consistent choices. Every day you have the opportunity to choose differently, to think differently, to believe differently. You are not bound by your past, by your fears, or by the doubts that once held you back. You are free to walk forward with clarity, with strength, and with unshakable faith. The divine is not distant, it is not silent. It is always speaking, always guiding, always reminding you of your purpose. But the question is, will you continue to listen? Will you continue to align your thoughts with truth? Will you continue to reject fear, embrace faith, and trust in the divine plan unfolding for you? This is not the end of your journey. This is just the beginning. These 3 days were a foundation, a turning point. Now the real work begins. Carry this awareness with you. Continue speaking truth over yourself. Continue choosing faith when fear tries to return. Continue aligning your thoughts with divine wisdom. And most of all, continue believing that you are here for a reason, that your life has purpose, and that you are walking in the direction of your highest calling. You are not the same person you were 3 days ago. You have stepped into a higher understanding of yourself and the divine within you. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that you are guided, you are loved, and you are exactly where you need to be. The path ahead is unfolding, and your greatest days are yet to come. Keep speaking, keep believing, and keep moving forward, because you are closer than ever to the life you were meant to live.